Hi folks, I'm back at Rosalind's kitchen and I'm going to do a very exciting dish. Homemade baked beans. The exciting part is that they are flatulence free. And to get my secret, you will have to watch till the end of this demonstration. First, I will show you the ingredients, which will be put up on the screen later. I have passata, and you can buy any brand you like. I don't think there's a lot of variation between them. Extra virgin olive oil. I always like curry powder, so I will add a bit of Keen's. It's a very mild curry powder and it has a lovely flavor. Then the secret actually to baked beans, which I found out from looking at the various menus, is smoked paprika, which you can buy loose in a spice shop or they have them in packets at the supermarket. Then the onion. This is a pickling onion. It's small, I need just this amount, and they're quite cheap to buy. And a little bit of garlic. The actual recipe requires a bit more, but I found when I use more, it's too garlicky. And another reason why I decided to do baked beans myself is I was tired of tasting the sugar, and I realized that by stealth, companies are increasing sugar and salt in what we buy in cans and packets. So there. The last thing is, these are just beans that have been pre-cooked. I normally get butter beans. The recipe requires navy beans, but I found them to be a little tough. This time I'm trying cannellini beans. They are softer and I think their texture could be a little better. So we will begin soon. Right, I am using an induction cooker and Ros is in the background and keeping an eye on it. And as well, the Swans are playing Richmond today, so she's going to give me the scores. Right, olive oil. I don't measure what I do because I get impatient with recipes, but if you have been cooking before, you sort of have an idea of how much to put. Well, basically, it would be less than a tablespoon of olive oil. Then I've cut up my garlic and onions, and I will put them in. They should sizzle, but not burn, so I'll leave it on for a while. I could increase the heat a little bit, and we'll wait a minute or two while it starts to bubble. I've added about half a teaspoon of smoked paprika. I have just put a few sprinkles of curry powder, and I think you don't need to add that much. You just want that little flavor coming through. So give it a bit of a stir. And oh, the aroma's really nice. The passata, I would say half a cup to 3/4 of a cup. I don't normally measure anything. I've just pour it in, but just by looking it would be that much. And also I'm going to put a bit of tomato paste, which would be about, I would say, this much. Then a little bit of macel stock cube, and there again it is also salty, so that's why I don't add any salt yet. For now, I'm just putting this tiny bit. I'm going to put a little bit of water here. Now the lid, I'll put it on a lower heat and let it absorb the flavors for a few minutes.
A few minutes later.
Now it's been simmering for a few minutes, I'd say 5 to 6 minutes on a low heat. I'm going to have a taste because this is the only way you can make a decision on whether you want to add more passata or more of a stock cube or more water. It's got that tang, which is really nice, and I can taste the curry powder as well. Now at the moment, it doesn't need anything. I might just need to put a tiny bit of sugar. And when I say a tiny bit, I mean a tiny bit. I think it's got enough tomatoes and tomato paste, which is getting thicker now. I will just add a tiny bit more water. Really, cooking is all about aroma, it's about taste, and it's about texture. And by your senses, all of that combined to make you a good cook. What's the score, Rosie?
They just scored just as well.
The Swans?
Yeah, because Richmond was creeping up.
Excellent.
Okay, 38-23.
Right. Let's hope they keep this up. I'm going to give it another taste now, and I'm going to leave it with the beans, perhaps another 5 minutes. I would like the sauce to thicken a little bit more while the beans are in it. That tiny bit of sugar made a difference. You don't need 10 or 15 grams of sugar in a can of baked beans, which is what I've been noticing these days. I'm going to take the lid off for another minute. I just want the liquid to evaporate a little and to get the sauce nice and thick, just a little bit. So you want to know how baked beans can be flatulence free. I know that most people have baked beans in the Mexican style tortilla or pasta or with starch. Now the more starch you have, and worse if you add meat or chicken with beans, because they are not really compatible. Beans are very rich in fiber and they have good protein value. If you mix them with another kind of protein, especially with meat or chicken or even fish, they will ferment, and there you have the flatulence. So the secret is, have your baked beans on a lovely toasted piece, a slice of sourdough or a rich grainy bread or Turkish bread. It is such a nice change from having the usual breakfast. Of course, I don't have any cereal, but instead of having rolled oats or having an egg, try your homemade baked beans with toast. And Roz, what's the score?
46-29.
Well, the Swans are doing well, so I'm going to sign off now after I have a taste, and I'll listen to the rest of the match. It is so good. So what I do next, I will let it cool. I'll put it in a jar. I will have 3 or 4 smaller jars. I will put in the freezer, so each time I want baked beans with my breakfast, I'll take 1 jar out, which will be enough for 1 serving, and I'll have it with my breakfast on toast. So until my next recipe, Pearlers, I'll see you soon, as I'm going to watch the rest of the Swans match, and I do hope they win. Bye.